Are you living to your true potential? Do you know what your true potential is? Are you using the talents that God has given you as a gift? Are you squandering away the days, the weeks, the months, the years, and not really using the gifts and talents that God gave you? When you and I were born, God said, the world can no longer exist without us. Yes, you and I were handpicked by God to have been created and to live in the now, to be here in this generation, in the 21st century. God needs us to be here. How do you know that? Because when God created you, He did not create a duplicate of you or a triplicate. There's only one of you, not only now, but there is never someone like you before in history. Even in a pre-reincarnated form, your fingerprints were never here in the world before. Your fingerprints will never be on another person ever again. Imagine how unique you are. Having that in mind, you need to realize how lucky you are to have been born, how lucky you are to live in this generation, and how lucky you are that God gave you talents. And we need to unpack those talents and put them to work. Every single one of us has a talent. And those are God-given talents. And we cannot look at others and think of their talents and say, gosh, look how beautiful they could play the piano, the drums, the saxophone, the clarinet. What can I do? You have a talent that is specifically for you. And you know what it is. Sometimes you have to uncover it. But you definitely are gifted. And you need to take that gift and truly use it to its fullest. One rabbi once said, the worst sin is not to use the talent that God has given you. I read once an amazing, beautiful anecdote that could help us understand this concept. There was once an eagle's egg that rolled down the mountain and came upon a nest of chicken eggs. It rolled into a chicken coop, and there were a whole bunch of chicken eggs there. As the chickens began hatching, so did the eagles. The eagle's egg cracked open just like the chicken's eggs cracked open. The chicken emerged, so did the eagle. The chickens and the eagle became family. And the eagle grew together with the chickens. The eagle did exactly what the chickens were doing. He was following around the chickens, and he was just crawling from place to place, finding the food, and laying eggs, doing what it does, just like what a chicken does, and living a life as a chicken. One day, an eagle is flying overhead and sees an eagle mingling with chickens. Says, that's not right. Something is wrong here. What is an eagle mingling with chickens? And watches that the eagle is just jumping around like the chickens do. And he says to himself, boy, does he not know that he's an eagle? At the right moment, the eagle came down, flew closer. All the chickens ran away, and he pushed the eagle off the cliff. The eagle instinctively, with its reflexes, spread out its wings, and for the very first time, did he know that he could fly. He never knew that he could fly. He never knew he had wings. All his life he thought he was a chicken. A chicken cannot fly. An eagle can fly. The eagle who's looking down gave him his wings and says, yes, you're an eagle. Don't forget you're an eagle. You can fly. And the eagle began soaring high and flying like an eagle. This anecdote, this analogy, is so true in our own lives. Sometimes we limit ourselves with our surroundings. We think that we are as limited as others, not realizing that we can be much greater than who we are. Sometimes God from above looks down and says, why are you squandering your days away and not being who you really need to be? Sometimes God is going to give you a push. Sometimes maybe a push off the cliff. And then you'll realize that you are truly an eagle. You're not a chicken. And you'll realize what your talents are, and you'll realize how high you can fly. And I thought about that. How much more so when we go through life. Sometimes we feel like God is pushing us. Sometimes God really pushes us off a cliff. At that moment, we need to open up our wings and realize that what God did to us may not be fair, but it's for a purpose and a reason. And maybe that reason is for us to get to realize and recognize who you are. I know personally, I've been through some very rough times in my life. Besides surviving a mass shooting at the second synagogue in all U.S. history on April 27, 2019, when Lori Lynn Gilbert Kay was killed right in front of my eyes. I took bullets to my fingers, but I survived. That was being pushed off the cliff. Then I went through some very difficult times. And I had to make that decision. Am I going to remain limited to my surroundings? Or am I going through what I went through so that I could fly higher and greater? So no matter what we go through in life, never forget that God in heaven is looking above you. And if he gives you a nudge, if he gives you a push, even if he pushes you off the cliff, he gives you the wings that you could fly high and become even greater than you were before. You'll be greater and greater. And this is so true for each one of us to appreciate and recognize the God-given talents that we have. Realize that we all have a mission in this world. We all have a purpose. No one was created by accident or by chance. Everyone is here by choice, by a purpose, to be an ambassador for good, to make this world a better place. So let's all unpack our talents. Let's truly realize that we are in a partnership with God. God from heaven is counting on you, is leaning on you to deliver what you promised at birth. A promise that God promised you he will give you life, and that you will give him what he was waiting for you to do, is to be an ambassador of good in making this world a better place, and making this world a dwelling place for godliness, a spiritual home for God. And you will soar as high as an eagle. May God bless us all to appreciate the gifts we have and to utilize them before it's way too late. We think about the clock is always tick-tock forward. These seconds and minutes will never come back again. So make the seconds, minutes, hours, days, weeks, months, years count now. Don't push it off to tomorrow, but do it now. God bless you. God loves you.